the Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Jed Castles.
Oh, we've been running and gunning this morning, and our trackers have as well. This is looking out at Colorado, okay? We're not in just Oklahoma. We're not just in Kansas. We're all the way up into Colorado. You can see a large hail there doing a lot of damage on some of the vehicles. Look at that wind causing some action there, I think that car probably spun out. But again, we had some wind that really kicked in. Severe weather and even a tornado up in parts of far southeast Colorado. And that's where we had Brandon Pennell, Marty Logan. We sent them up into the Panhandle, also up into Kansas and Colorado to kind of greet this storm line and then to start walking it on in, kind of get a running start, moving it on down into Oklahoma. But boy, had some wild damage there up in parts of Colorado as these guys were tracking on through. Let's show you what the storm line looked like here as we check out the other video piece here. This is looking at some of the winds up there. Again, I think this is a live shot now from Valcaster. This is Val's shot now. So now the sun is coming up. So we have a much better perspective on what this looks like. And this is absolutely amazing to see this number of boxcars. These are all boxcars that were flipped over. And who's on the scene is Valcaster. He's right there. He's tracking it, and he's giving you the latest update. Val, you've been on this now for over an hour, but what a wild scene you've got up there.
Yeah, so you mentioned that the sun is now coming up and it's starting to shed light on what happened here. And this is looking towards the northwest down the tracks here, and you can see how many cars have been flipped. We're being told 25 to 30. And, as I look across here from where it started to where it ended, I mean, it might be close to a half a mile or so of train cars that have been derailed over here. You mentioned 90-mile-an-hour winds. It was probably every bit of that to do this, Jed.
So you see those train cars there, and those were, what, double-decker train cars, Val?
Yes, double-decker with the containers on top of them. I know these things are built to hold a lot of weight. Not sure what every car had in it. We saw one car that was stacked full of paper towel rolls, household goods and such like that. But, yes, steel cars, heavy-duty containers over here.
It's kind of like a dominoes. You stack them up. You hit that first one, you get that many cars together, that much weight, they can all start going down the line too. So that's incredible to see that kind of wind do that kind of damage. Again, this is Valcaster, Val and Amy up in the Fairmont area. This is going to be just southeast of Garfield, southeast of Enid in Garfield County. This happened about 4 a.m. this morning. So while you were sleeping up in Garfield County, it was rocking the house right there. Check out the storm report. So I mentioned we kind of got the trackers going up further north up into Colorado. So yeah, there they are, and then the storm line kept working its way south and east, and they followed it all the way down into Oklahoma. Our trackers were out from yesterday morning. They were out from 11 o'clock on tracking those storms. Brandon and Marty did a great job covering them here, even past midnight tonight. And they were watching the storms moving into western parts of Oklahoma. And then Jeremy jumped in. He was with us watching the storms move in. And then Val jumped in as the storms got closer to central Oklahoma. And that's right when they really kicked in. And we're talking these areas right near Enid. There's the Vance Air Force Base. That's right underneath that icon there, Wacomas. And up here near Garber, near the town of Fairmont, that's where we had those winds gusting close to 90 miles per hour. It had a true wind gust, 84 at Vance Air Force Base in Enid, and also a high wind gust up near Ponca City. High wind there, close to 70 on the backside of that complex. So it was a big crushing blow to some of those areas in the north that had all that wind. One more shot of that train. This is looking at it from the other side that Val was looking at. There's the trains. Cars blown over, still the wheels on the tracks on some of these, but boy, that's going to take a long time, several days, what Val is hearing, for them to clean that up. Well, looking at radar right now, things are starting to improve some in northwest Oklahoma. You can see this line, really just kind of a steady line from south of Taloga, Kingfisher, Stroud. Not any south of that, it's all north of that, and that is all riding nearly due east as this complex keeps moving away. The highest winds are over in here, so the storm complex is now starting to weaken. Just some general type rain up here in the northern part of the state. All the severe winds are going on over here near Choteau and moving east up near Adair, and those are moving up toward Grand Lake and also Fort Gibson. How about the lows here this morning? How about these temps? 60s, 50s and 40s up over the Central Plains. It is nice and cool. It's July, and we're talking cool air. How about that? That's kind of crazy. Yeah, so that cooler air is going to come on down. We're going to have a couple nice days. Today looks great. Tonight looks fantastic. Great weather for your Friday evening plans. And then tomorrow looks great as well if you're starting off tomorrow morning. So campers, got the green light. Get out there and camp and do all that to good business because it looks like some great camping weather on the way. 60s and 70s out the door this morning. Look at your forecast before you go. 71 here at 9 o'clock. We'll close in on 83 by 4 o'clock today. A lot of sun. That'll take us into next week. Now, we're nice now, but look at that heat. It races back in, and it sets up shop. It drops anchor over Oklahoma as highs close in on 100 starting on Tuesday.